the world. There's insects, animals and birds. Let's learn about them one by one. It's exciting and it's fun. Big, small, or in the middle. It's Ribbit's Fantastic Riddles! Yeah! Listen carefully to my riddle. This animal has an oval head. It has terrible eyesight. You can barely see its ears. Its mouth sticks out and it's hard. It's a beak. This creature has a black back. It has a white belly and tiny wings. Its feet are webbed and have claws. It has a triangular tail and it's covered with feathers. This animal walks funny. It swims well and is an expert fisherman. In winter, it builds up a layer of fat to protect it from the cold of the ice floe. This animal is a bird, but it can't fly. The male sits on the eggs for 3 months to keep them warm, without moving or eating. So then, have you guessed? What is it?
I'm a daddy!
Congratulations! Okay, a bird that doesn't fly, lives in the Antarctic, dives and fishes in chilly waters. It's obvious it's a penguin. And what does the penguin say?
Sure is cold. Can you give me some mittens?
Penguins look a bit absurd. They're half fish and half bird. With feathered fins, they fly so free. Deep under the icy sea. Their arms are just too small to even wave hello at all. They snuggle up on the ice floes, which keep them warm from toes to nose. Listen carefully to my riddle. This animal has a small round head with 8 eyes to see in all directions. It also has antennas on its head and a mouth with 2 sharp hooks. It has a fat stomach and no skeleton, but its skin, which is thick, protects it. It has 4 pairs of claws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If one of its paws breaks off, it will grow back. It has tubes on its backside, which is used to make a very strong thread. It spends its days weaving traps to catch its prey. This little animal likes quiet, dark corners.
Hey, bartender, a glass of juice nice and sweet, please.
It has no teeth. It inhales its dinner. Sadly, it is not much liked. People chase it from their houses. So then, have you guessed yet? Who is it?
I'm a space mutant!
No, you silly goose. This little animal with a fat belly, 8 velvety paws, antennas, several pairs of eyes, who weaves a web to imprison insects that she draws in with her hooks and inhales. Of course it's a spider. And what does the spider say?
Whatever, please welcome.
The spider going to the ball stops when her stepmother calls. Hey! Put your glass slippers on, my dear. Too bad she's short 3 pairs. The spider did not hear the bell ringing out midnight now. She's lost her clothes, she's all bare. Now swinging on a web, she's a scare. Listen carefully to my riddle. This animal has a thick skin that is bald and grey, a muzzle that's long and very flat. He has little round eyes and a big jaw with several rows of teeth. This animal, who lives mostly in tropical seas, can measure up to 45 feet. Instead of paws, he has fins and a long tail. He can swim thanks to his tiller-like tail by moving it from left to right. His sense of smell is very keen. Bleh. If one of his teeth falls out, it grows back at once. This animal has a reputation for being very ferocious.
Have a seat, my friends.
He loves crayfish, fish, and octopus. By the way, here's one last clue for you. This animal is a great fish who lives in the ocean. So, have you guessed yet? Who is he?
I'm a little mermaid.
No, silly head. A big fish that lives in tropical waters, grey all over with a long flat muzzle, fins on his back and sides, who can smell out the tiniest drop of blood and who hunts in silence. Of course, it's a shark. And what does the shark say?
Hey, my little chickadee.
The shark has lots of cousins where the waters are warm, but the shark has no buddies in the blue ocean deep. The shark is sad and lonely, he has no one to play with him. It's not his fault he has sharp teeth, that's why you should leave him in peace. Listen carefully to my riddle. This animal has 2 eyes ringed by spots, a rounded muzzle,
全部费功夫。
cute little rounded ears, and a huge mouth with powerful teeth. This giant animal lives in China. He has a very warm coat, 4 strong paws, with scary claws that he uses to climb trees with.
Yum, yum.
This animal lives on bamboo shoots.
I'm going to eat you.
He will eat up to 3,000 of them a day. This big mammal barks to say hello. This animal is very rare. There are only about 1,000 left in the world. When they're born, this animal's babies are all pink. Their mother takes very good care of them. So then, have you guessed yet? Who is it?
I am a Peking duck.
No, bird brain. a big and very rare mammal who lives in the bamboo forests of China. Of course, it's a panda. And what does the panda say?
Who still hasn't signed the petition?
The panda found a brush, made a mess in an inkwell. Then he colored both his ears and his little nose. He painted some nice dark sleeves and black leggings past his knees. When he looked into the mirror, he looked again to see clearer. To check what it was he saw, he rubbed his eyes with inky paws. Listen carefully to my riddle. This animal has a little muzzle with delicate whiskers. He has small teeth, 2 pointy ears, and he wears a kind of mask over his eyes. This animal is as big as most household pets. He has 4 paws, nice thick fur, and a beautiful striped tail. This little carnivore is much prized for his fur coat. He lives by hunting and fishing. He lives on fruit, insects, lizards, and little frogs that he finds in the river. If you eat me, you won't ever learn the answer to this riddle. This animal washes the food he fishes before eating it. So then, did you guess? Who is it?
I'm the super clean superhero!
No, you silly. A little carnivorous mammal with 2 spots around his eyes that look like a mask. Sure enough, it's a raccoon. And what does the raccoon say?
I love little frogs.
The raccoon washes with great zest.
It's the job he likes best.
No brush, no sponge, and no gloves. It's washing up that he loves. The raccoon cleans all his food.
He refuses to be rude.
When everything is sparkling, he finally gets down to eating. Listen carefully to my riddle. This animal has 2 small, upright ears, beautiful eyes with long lashes, a long muzzle, 2 big nostrils, a jaw with enormous teeth, and bangs on his forehead. This animal has a thick neck and a strong back. He has hind legs and forelegs. His thighs are solid and well muscled. He has 4 hoofs and a long thick tail. He has hair that reaches halfway down his neck. Not so long ago, people used him instead of automobiles. This great mammal is tame. He's trained by going round and round in a ring. He goes very fast. and sometimes runs in races. This animal is the cowboy's best friend. So then, have you guessed yet? Who is it?
I'm the fastest gun in the West.
Sure you are. This great big tame animal with upright ears, a mane who runs very fast and whinnies? Of course, it's a horse. And what does the horse say?
Giddy up and go!
Horse for pulling or horse for track, smart thoroughbred or clumsy hack, graceful stallion or a wild mustang, frisky colt or sleepy nag. The man who calls him stupid beast and kicks at him with spurs or feet is much more stupid, of course, than the kind, courageous horse. Listen closely to my riddle. This animal has big ears and very good hearing. He has a trumpet-shaped nose. His eyes are almost blind. And he has a big mouth with pointed teeth. He has a small body, hind legs with claws, and his arms have long fingers webbed together with thin skin. This animal knows how to fly, but he's not a bird. He eats insects, fruit, and little fish. During the day, he sleeps in a funny position. He loves the nectar in flowers. This little mammal lives at night. He's inspired lots of creepy stories. His screech is easily identifiable. So then, have you guessed? Who is it?
I am the evil Count Dracula.
No way, Jose. An insect-eating mammal with pointed ears, featherless wings and feet with claws. He's nocturnal and hibernates. Of course, it's a bat. And what does the bat say?
Hey, who turned off the lights?
The little bat has a bad reputation. Everyone says he haunts old mansions and hangs out on tombstones with Dracula and witches' brooms. But this is a legend, can't you see? The bat is nice as he can be. Don't listen to gossiping tongues. The bat is as nice as the day is long. Listen carefully to my riddle. This small animal has 2 round eyes, a small muzzle, with a pretty pink nose to wriggle and sniff with. It has whiskers and big ears and long front teeth. This animal has beautiful and silky fur, 2 front legs with tiny claws, very large feet, and 2 very strong back legs and a short tail. It eats mushrooms, plants, grass, fruit. This small animal sometimes lives on a farm. It sleeps in a burrow. In the wild, This little fearful animal lives in the woods or fields and digs his own burrow. It jumps with its back legs. So then, have you guessed yet? What is it?
I don't know.
Oh, silly. An agile and lively mammal with big ears who moves around by jumping and likes carrots. Yep, it's a rabbit. So what does the rabbit say?
Hey, what's up, Doc?
I like rabbits in the wild and China rabbits that are blue. I like bunnies from Poland and ones from Holland too. Chinchilla rabbits are pretty, Angoras are so fun. But my favourite rabbit, listen closely to my riddle. This animal has little antennas. With eyes on the end. Together they look like little periscopes. He has one mouth with little flaps to help him breathe underwater. This animal has no spine. His stomach is folded under his body. He wears armor to protect himself. He has 10 nimble legs, and his 2 front legs carry great big claws. This little creature digs burrows in the sand. He eats everything. He's called the dustman of the sea. People love this animal for its delicate and delicious meat. Here's one final clue. This crustacean walks sideways. He's also a king of disguise. No one sees him when he moves. So, have you guessed yet? Who is it?
I'm a battlebound!
No way, sailor. A crustacean who lives in the sea with 2 big claws and who walks sideways. Of course, it's a crab. And what does the crab say?
I want an ice cream!
This crab went to the sea. He went to see what he could see. But when he saw the waves come in, he buried himself up to his chin. Find him on a sandy beach. Keep his pincers out of reach. This little seaside night is in the restaurant tonight. Listen closely to my riddle. This animal has a small oval head, 2 bulging eyes on each side of his head, and a tube where his mouth should be. Inside this tube, there's a sort of straw. He also has 2 great big antennas, a big thorax, and an even bigger abdomen. He has 6 legs with claws. He has no tail, but his backside looks like 2 sharp points. His body's covered with neither feathers nor fur, but with a shell.
What's 2 plus 2?
Me, sir?
This parasitical insect loves to go to school.
Duns? Get out!
But school children are rarely happy to see him. He moves very fast. And he's very difficult to catch.
What are you doing?
He hangs on with his claws.
Get down here!
What he really likes is long hair. When he's well fed, this parasite produces lots of kids. When its young grow up, they in turn come to eat. And it itches a lot. So, did you guess? What is it?
I'm a bag of itching powder!
No, silly head. A small skin parasite who lays tiny little eggs that are called nits. Of course, it's a louse. And what does the louse say?
I swear I'm innocent!
La 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 la. An ambitious little louse wanted to go to the schoolhouse, but he couldn't see the board. He thought and looked around. Then he clambered way up there into a child's head of hair. La 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 la. That louse got poor marks, by the way. Once he climbed up, he decided to stay. Listen to my riddle. This animal has big eyes. His pupils narrow against the light. He has beautiful and pointy ears and a thin muzzle. He has a big mouth with fangs. This animal has a slender body. 4 paws with claws. He has a fat, bushy tail that's almost as long as his body. This animal is very clean. He washes his coat very often. He waits until dark to hunt. He's omnivorous, which means he'll eat anything. Fruit, meat, eggs, and fish. He is also very sly. He plays dead so that his unwary prey will come close. Many do not like this animal. They said he could transmit rabies, but now he is trapped and vaccinated. He is also hunted for his beautiful coat. So, did you guess? Who is it?
I'm the spirit of the forest.
No, you big turkey. A mammal with red fur who eats everything but loves chicken. Of course, it's a fox. And what does the fox say?
Could you show me the way to the chicken coop?
There was a fox who fell in love with a chicken. His name was Basil and her name was Jeanette. He said, my love for you is pure and true, as you surely will discover when you're in the stew. Listen closely to my riddle. This animal has very beautiful eyes. Its muzzle is very thin and long. It has a long, dark-coloured tongue, 2 furry horns, and elegant ears. This animal's body is covered with spots. Its legs are long and thin. And it has 2 pairs of hooves. It also has a tail with tufts of fur at the end. Oh, I forgot to mention that this animal has a long, stiff neck. This large mammal lives in the African savanna. It can pick leaves off trees 18 feet high. It's an herbivore. It chews its cud for hours. It's so tall that it has to splay its legs out so that it can drink water from the river. It's the tallest animal in the world. So, did you guess? Who is it?
Now that's one tall question.
Come on, silly. A tall animal who lives in Africa with a very long neck. Of course, it's a giraffe. And what does the giraffe say?
Hey, where do all the antelope roam?
I don't want a stepladder, said the giraffe. I don't want any stilts, don't make me laugh. I don't want high heels, they don't look so cute. A coffee table, yes please, that I can use. The savannah is green and the giraffe's her queen. She is graceful and tall, the most elegant of all. Listen closely to my riddle. This animal wears a helmet. He has big protruding eyes that can see in 2 directions at once. And a big jaw that opens all the way to his ears with small teeth. This animal has a long body covered with scales. He has paws like pincers and a little crest on his back. He's got a long tail that he uses to hang onto branches with. And a sticky tongue that he pulls in lickety-split and that folds back up in his mouth. This kindly reptile lives in the tropics. He moves very slowly. He lives on insects and can change colour on a whim. When he's angry, he puffs himself up and grunts. He puts on bright colours when he seeks to charm. This animal has not changed since the dawn of time. So, have you guessed yet? Who is it?
I'm a corkscrew.
No, old chap. An animal with a body covered with scales, protruding eyes and a tongue he can shoot out at amazing speeds. Yes, it's a chameleon. And what does the chameleon say?
Hey, where's the party?
The chameleon parties with his friends and has not slept for nights on end. He's got shadows under his little eyes. The chameleon is really tired.
Brasil Carnaval!
And although he is pale, his eyelids are heavy. His big tongue is always at the ready. He puts on a colourful jacket and pants. He will surely look cool.